Welcome back, everybody, to my stream. My name is Technomagus. We are on part 35 of Final Fantasy VI Advance now, in our hunt for Deathgaze, which is taking far, far too long. So, as I mentioned before, Deathgaze normally hides out in like one of 5 areas on the world map. I don't remember where they are. So, we're just going to do the slow method of slightly angling the airship and driving straight until we run into the bugger. Because it's pretty much one of, if not the only things left for us to do before taking on Kefka's tower. Now we could go rampaging through the Colosseum a couple times, trying to get some better equipment and items. Nothing else really. Man, this stupid thing just does not want to. I think Deathgaze is afraid of me. Considering the characters that I'm bringing against him, it probably would be too. Now, see, the thing about Deathgaze is that it's a unique encounter. Normally what happens is Deathgaze will show up, cast level 5 death, stick around for 1 or 2 rounds, and then run away. His HP, however, does not reset in between encounters. So essentially, what you're supposed to do is you're just supposed to chase him all over the world until you finally track him down and gut him. And then he spits out the Bahamut Magicite on his death. So it's just a matter of tracking him down. This is pretty much the most riveting part of the game. At least the music isn't bad. Oh. Okay, it's going to show up at some point. All right. Doesn't look like Deathgaze wants to show up. So we'll at least get started on Kefka's Tower. We're not actually going to beat the game today, though. Well, we want to get into Kefka's Tower so we can get the last two dragons dead. So Kefka's Tower, as I mentioned before, can only be entered by airship. So you got to go to the top of the tower and attempt to descend. Now, of course, Kefka's tower has an incredible number of very high-powered enemies and high-powered bosses. And you only get this scene the first time you try to go into Kefka's tower. Alright, now as this is a preliminary run, we're only taking 2 parties into the tower. The third party will consist of Monk, and only Monk. So the goal is to have 2 heavy hitters and 2 mages in the party. Actually, we'll take Strago so I don't have to de-equip him. Gogo and Amaro will get their chance to shine a little bit later. Make sure you get everybody equipped up as good as possible, because the enemies don't pull their punches, and neither should you. And there is treasure all over the tower, so be sure to explore pretty thoroughly. This is also one of the best places to level up your characters outside of the dinosaur forest. But there are also very few enemies that you can actually run from, like the Great Behemoth. If a Great Behemoth shows up, you cannot run. So make sure that you don't get in over your head. And this is why we want the IO Rage. And of course, all the enemies that we encounter here will also show up on the Veldt. So when we eventually bail this place, we'll be paying a visit to the Veldt during an off-screen grinding session. Now, there was one other rage that I obtained that's not showing on the list, and that is the Tonberry rage. The reason it doesn't show is because the Tonberry's rage is the 256th enemy that you can get a rage of, and as such, is basically like a blank spot on the menu screen. Okay, and as you can see, you need to actually switch off between different parties in order to be able to progress through the area. Alright, old man, you do not need Genji equipment. Let's give it to somebody who can actually, use it. Oh, wait, let's actually get some relics, too. Sure, let's have a broken Celis. Well, actually not that broken a Celis, because she doesn't really have that much magic right now. Oh, and that is the best female equipment for the Minerva Bustier is the best female armor. Okay, it's pretty much every spell available right now, at least until I get Crusader. And as you may notice, we are now in the Vector Dungeon. One thing you'll see in Kefka's Tower is that there are certain areas that are direct rips straight from Vector and from the Magitech Research Facility. In these areas, if you did not happen to get the treasures in them your first time around, they'll actually be there for you to pick up this time. They don't, unlike most treasure chests, though, they don't change between the two areas. However, it also has its fair share of bosses, as you're about to encounter. Okay, before we actually encounter this boss, let's switch to Maw real quick. Who is simply going to go with his traditional screw you random encounters, I'm looting this place setup. And the reason for that is we're putting him on a save spot. Because the cool thing is, while you're on a save spot, oh look, you can save with other parties. I think I went over this while we were in the Phoenix Cave, but, you know. Another cool thing you can do is use a tent. As long as you do not move from the spot. Alright. Now we get to go fight against the upgraded Ultima weapon. And while he's sitting there pondering, we're just going to pound his face in. As you can see, he's got a significant chunk of HP, but when you're swinging for over 10k damage a round, and now that we've successfully stolen from him, well, he's really kind of screwed now. Yeah, as you can see, he goes down pretty easily. Not nearly as dangerous as his brother. And of course, Tsunami is one of Strago's rages. And we get a save point, which we're actually going to use. Oh, actually, we don't want to go that way, because going that way actually takes us back. What we want to do is we want to go this way. Pick up some nice equipment. Of course, save and attack the weakest member. What's she doing? The only thing he has left to do is learn from Gilgamesh, who is currently with Edgar, of course. Oh, hold on. No, who got it? Oh, here we go. We can give him the Catalepus. Let's see. Oh, Strago got a while ago. Now I want to go in here so we can hit the switch for Team A and pick up that nice little ribbon. And here's the first of the dragons. Or rather, I should say the 7th of the dragons. Alright, let's go back to Mug real quick so we can get our save point reactivated. And let's murder us a dragon. And this is the gold dragon, which is the lightning-themed dragon. It's weak to water, and... great, I don't have water. Well, actually, Strago does. And of course, the maneuver bustier actually nulls lightning, so it's a very nice piece of equipment. And this should kill it, actually. Alright, we've got one dragon left to fight. Dark Forces actually use a significant number of Strago's rages. That's one of them. That's another one. There's a third one. Oh yeah, Strago already has Revenge Blast. He starts off with it. Forgot about that. Alright. Now, we're not actually going to advance with Mog because that staircase has a mandatory boss encounter, which Mog will not be able to solo. He might. I'm not going to try it. But I'm pretty sure Terra is going to run into... See, right down here, if you didn't already pick it up, you could have picked up the Stone Blade, because this is the Magitech Research Facility Center. But anyway, as I was saying, that I'm fairly certain that my Mog cannot solo the boss there, so I'm not even going to try. We're just going to go forward with Terra and company until we get to the central area again, and then we are going to teleport out. Alright, Edgar is done with Gilgamesh. Or I think he is. We'll switch him over to Raiden so that Saving can start running from Gilgamesh. The only problem with the IO Rage is that it's all the way at the bottom of the Rage list. Oh, we can't go any further. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and teleport out with this handy teleport stone, which will send us back to the airship. And we wouldn't want to go any further anyway, because if we did, that would actually, we would actually meet up with one of the statues. Because we actually have to fight the statues. But we're going to go ahead and get a party put together so that we can fight Doomgaze, or Deathgaze if we actually encounter him. Get the old standby together. Equip everybody not in the party, and then we'll go ahead, drop a save, and split off the video, so stay tuned. I'll be back in just a few minutes for the next part.